Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Checking in on YELP GWPH, PCLN NVDA, and TSLA on the daily and weekly time frame. Still weak for YELP. No follow through for these bulls. Closed near the low of the day. Still struggling at these daily exponential resistances. So a little bit of a setback for the bulls. We have our must hold support at 32.97 and 32.99, a little bit of a double low at that level. Our new lower high is 34.54, so that's the range we're watching. A potential bottom fishing play if we head back down in the low $33 range and make a bullish entry. We put our stop loss just below 32.97. Don't have a lot of risk, and we need to be watching for a bounce and a break of the lower high pattern. So the weekly time frame still favors the bears. 50 week moving average support is 32.96. That's backing up that support, so that's another point in favor of a potential bottom fishing play. As long as our stop losses are in place, we know exactly how much we risk on that trade. Risk to reward greatly favors reward. It's just that the odds of getting stopped out are more likely than not because the bears clearly still have some momentum. GWPH, oversold bounce. I shouldn't say an oversold bounce, but a bullish reversal hammer. Saw that follow through, and we saw some follow through today, but weakness with an upper wick, showing some profit taking, rejecting from these exponential daily resistances. So at this point, this is not a convincing bounce. If we see further pullback, the bulls need to hold 120.39, form a higher low, and then break the high that we just saw of 126.42. So a nice support base has been established, but at this point, that is not a convincing bounce for the bulls. The weekly chart still very bullish. As long as we hold this middle Bollinger Band, 119.46, bulls remain in control on the weekly time frame, waiting for these Bollinger Bands to level out and begin ascending, creating room back to the upside for the bulls. PCLN, congrats to the bulls, a blue sky breakout all-time high in reaction to earnings. The range I'm watching on the hourly time frame, 1720 support and 1738 resistance. That was the range that we saw after the high of the day was hit. That was our consolidation low and bounce attempt high after that consolidation. And we'll be watching the upper Bollinger Band support on the daily time frame as the bulls are still in control as long as we're above that level. Upper wick shows that profit taking, but at this point the hourly time frame is still bullish. So we're going to give the bulls a shot to break 1738 resistance, and we'll be looking for a new all-time high if that is the case. But if we get a break of 1720, we are going to be looking at potentially losing the upper Bollinger Band and looking back down towards 1698, the low of today. Weekly time frame, last time we had an all-time high, we couldn't close above. I shouldn't say the last time, but in the past we had an all-time high and couldn't close above the weekly upper Bollinger Band. So if we do break 1720, we will be looking at the potential of rejecting from the upper Bollinger Band on the weekly time frame, 1690, by the time this week closes. So a very important range tomorrow, 1720 and 1738. NVDA, this was a really nice bearish entry opportunity. We were waiting for it. We were scouting a bearish entry opportunity yesterday. We did not get any signals. We got them today with a loss of the hourly 20-period moving average at about 104. And we pulled back over $3 to the downside. Nice 3% gain to the downside, and the bears have momentum here. So here's our lower high, lower low pattern with the volume clearly favoring the bears on these drops and the bull volume showing weakness. So lower highs and lower lows, support is 100 psychological, 98.99, and then the lowest price we have seen on this pullback, 95.70. As long as the middle Bollinger Band holds on the weekly time frame, the long-term bulls do still have a key support level, but we're not done testing that level, and we're on the verge of this bearish TCG cross of these exponential moving averages if we lose that middle Bollinger Band, which is still ascending very rapidly and will be a lot higher next week. It's currently 96.80, and by next week we'll be up in the $98 range. So a key middle Bollinger Band weekly support bears in control on the daily time frame with momentum. Tesla bulls oversold bounces continuing. And it's almost like we're 1 day behind Tesla and NVDA, where we saw the oversold bounce signaled on the hourly time frame. Now we have our follow-through. Can be scouting a potential bearish entry tomorrow. And NVDA was the same thing. Oversold bounce on the hourly, follow through, and then our bearish entry today. So it's almost as if Tesla's 1 day behind NVDA. And as long as we form a lower high compared to 258.25, which was the high of Friday, the lower high, lower low pattern will remain intact. So the weekly time frame did fill the gap back up to 250.20, and we're watching very close to see how this weekly candlestick closes, because as of right now, it does show the bulls buying the dip, but with 3 trading days left to go, if we were to see a pullback and a close in the mid to lower 240s, that would show continued weakness on the weekly time frame as well. So that's what we're looking at heading into tomorrow. Yelp still weak, but we have a key clear support level to be watching. GWPH also showing some weakness, must hold 120.39. PCLN range clear 1720 to 1738 on the hourly. NVDA bears back in the driver's seat, looking towards 100 psychological support, and Tesla looking for the bulls to tire out on the oversold bounce, and a loss of the hourly 20 period, just like it was a signal for NVDA, will be a signal for Tesla as well. I appreciate you watching, and we will check back in tomorrow.